Afternoon, Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. Going to carry on the theme I've been doing and carry on another video on bits and communication on horses. Excuse me. Now this horse here, this horse's old son, he's a 4-year-old registered quarter horse. He belongs to a young man working on the ranch here, and he's a nice kind of little horse. I've tried to buy this horse. He won't sell him to me. But he doesn't have a good handle on him. Now when I say good handle, there's nothing wild or bronky or bucky about this horse, but he's not responsive. He's not light in the mouth at all. And so what I've got, the rig I've got on him, he's got just a regular D-ring snaffle in his mouth. Mama, can you zoom in that a little bit? Okay, that's a Jeremiah Watt snaffle bit. And then I've got these Macate reins on him with these leather slobber straps. Now the purpose of this, one of the purposes of this setup is to teach communication. You need a quick, definite response. And so with that heavy leather, when I ask him to do something and he does it, when I drop the rein and respond, it's a very quick, very definite response, okay? So that's what I got it. So I've gone back to the snaffle bit for the sake of communication. They started him out with a snaffle bit, but before he got the communication stuff down, they went up to a shank bit because they weren't getting the response that they wanted. And they got more response, more mechanical response, but it opened up a whole nother set of problems. So what I'm working on, what I'm gonna start him on is communication. Now this horse is one of those horses, he'll just go to sleep right here, okay? So he doesn't know anything, all right? And so I'm sawing, you don't pull. I'm gonna ask him, I'm gonna saw here a little bit, and he doesn't know, and I'm gonna ask him to give me his nose. All right, he came down just a hair there. A lot of these things are hard to see on a video. Now see, so what he's doing there, and when you start doing this to your horse, this is what you gotta watch out for. So this is pressure. I want him to give to pressure by tipping his nose. And he doesn't know that, okay? So when I ask him to tip his nose, what he's gonna do is he's gonna like, well, I wonder if I move my feet. And I don't want him to move his feet. So I just barely come in with my calves and say, no, don't back up. And so no, don't do that. So I'm just gonna patiently, there was just a tiny little bit, whoa. So all he's trying to do is he's trying to figure out what I'm trying to teach him. You ever go to another country and try to learn the language and they try to teach you, to tell you where's the bathroom or what that menu, there you go, there's a tiny little bit. So you're trying to learn a language and trying to teach a language. That's what horse training is. You're trying to learn their language and you're trying to teach them your language. And they don't know. And you don't pull and hang on stuff. So he's like, Dwayne, I really don't know what, there you go. So he gave me just a tip of nose. He doesn't even know what he did, but he did it, and so I rewarded it. Okay, I'm not gonna do this sit here so much that he gets aggravated at me. I'm just gonna do it for a little bit, and we're gonna move on to something else, and then I'm gonna come back to it. Because he's not sure. So he's tipping trying to look at me out of his eye, trying to figure out, Dwayne, what is this that you want? That's why you've got to be patient. This is not an overnight thing. These horse training videos, Road to the Horse and everything, where they're like, you've got to take a wild Mustang and you go buddy on its saddle, standing up on its back in 2 hours. Man, that ruins. That ruins. Okay. Oh, looky there. Okay, finally. Good job. And he'll put this together. Sometimes they'll give you what you want. There you go. And they don't even know that they did it, but you respond to it anyhow. And that's where you have to be sensitive. If you do not have light hands, you cannot expect to have a light horse. Okay? All right, I'm gonna quit there before he gets aggravated. So I'm gonna come around here, and what I'm wanting him to separate out today, good boy, is to give to pressure on his face without moving his feet. Now, you say, Dwayne, he tipped his nose, why don't you let go? Because he's hanging on it. He's hanging on it. And so I want him to tip that nose in a little bit more. There you go. Okay, wasn't perfect, but I'll take it. And so you got to come in light, and you have to respond light when he responds light. And that's how you make your horse light. Your horse does not get light from the asking. Your horse gets light from the stop asking. All right? Now, if you were to be standing there, I don't know you, but let's say your name is George or Tina or whatever. Okay? And I were to say, Tina, come here. Come here, Tina. Tina, come here. Come here. Come here, Tina. And you were to walk over and stand right here. And I say, come here, Tina. Tina, come here. Come here, Tina. Tina, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Tina. And you're like, I'm standing right here. I did what you asked. After a little bit of that, I say, come here, Tina. You're going to ignore me. Because you're like, there's no point in me doing what he asked because he won't stop asking. That's your horse. You say, turn your head left. And when they turn their head left, you're still saying, turn your head left, turn your head left, turn your head left. And they're like, well, I turned my head left and he didn't stop asking, so that must not be what he wants. The secret is to stop asking at the right time, lightly, sensitively, and immediately. Okay? All right, I'm gonna move him out a little bit. And it's a long process. I'm not gonna sit there for 20 minutes in the sun asking him to move his head around. He's only 4 years old. I would get bored doing that. In fact, I do get bored doing that. So I need to be sensitive to my horse. And it's hard to teach a horse that's bored, okay? So now I'm gonna come around here and I'm gonna come across, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna signal with my leg and then my neck rein. There you go, he followed that. So I didn't bump his mouth. I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna signal with my leg, and then the neck rein. Now I'm gonna bump his nose just a little tiny bit, just to indicate what I want. Now I'll come over and show you what I'm asking for. There you go. You say, Dwayne, how do I get my horse to start neck rein? Now here's one of his problems. Let's see how he does. Whoa. Well, that wasn't so bad. Okay. A horse works off anticipation. They don't want you to tell them to do something. And they really don't want you to ask them to do something. So the philosophy is this, all right? You break your signal down on what you want in 4 stages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time you go to turn, you break it down into 4 stages. 1, 2, 3, 4. After a while, they're going to figure out what you're asking. You're going to get 1, 2, 3, and they'll do 4 before you ask it. Okay? Or they'll do 1 before you ask it. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and they'll do it. What do I mean? You ride with your leg. So I'm going to come in with my calf, not my spur. A spur is only to be used when you signal the horse something and they just ignore you. Then that's just an amplifier. That's all that is, okay? So when I'm riding and I want the horse to start learning to move off the neck rein to get lighter, I'm gonna come in 1, I'm gonna lay the rein on his neck, 2, 3, okay? After a while, actually we'll add 4 that. You turn and look where you're going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, whoa son, 3, 4. After a while, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to say, oh, I know what's coming, and he's going to turn before you get to 4. 1, 2, 3, and he turns. Then after a while, you're going to get 1, 2, and he's going to turn. How do you get the horse to start turning when you're looking? Consistently break it down into signals and let them learn to anticipate. Does it make sense? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come around here and move him off. So yes, I'm wearing spurs and I have not touched him with a spur 1 time. Why? Because I don't need it. He's responding to my calves. And I get to the point where he's not, because the calf, I don't need to listen to that, then I'll touch him with a spur. That's all the spur is for. Is to, what is the word I want? To amplify your signal. So now I'm going to come across here, I'm going to come in with the leg, I'm going to turn 1, 2 with the leg, 3, Oh, there he comes. You see that? Didn't have to touch his mouth. Going to go this way. I'm going to turn where I want. Come in with a leg. Lay the rein on his neck. And he's like, hey. He's telling me that this is what he wants done, and if I'll do it, he won't bump my mouth with that bit. Your horse gets his focus from you. If you are not a focused rider, you're not going to have a focused horse. So look where you're going. Look where you want your horse to go. We're going to go over there. I'll look over there, come in with my leg, lay the rein on his neck, line him back out to that stump. Going to go this way. Okay, you see what we're doing? So it's communication. If you want your horse to start listening to you, let them listen to you. Whoa. Every stop. Whoop. Whoop. Don't hold it, saw a little bit, okay? Every stop ends with a backing up, okay? If you want your horse to do what you ask them and then give them a chance to comply. And if they comply, be polite. Don't ask them again, okay? All right, this is Dwayne, Dry Creek Wrangler School. Hope it helps you. Hit like if you like. Hit dislike if you dislike. Man, I ought to be honest, okay? Click that share button and send it to somebody you think it might help. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that bell so it'll tell you when I got some more stuff come out. If you want to support the channel, go over to the Dry Creek Wrangler on Patreon, and we'll catch you guys next time.